Good morning once again. Guten Morgen. Buenos dias. Bonjour. Boy, I cannot tell you how excited I am that today it looks and feels like it's going to warm up a little bit. I tell you, once you become a Phoenician, we've been here for on and off about 5 years, almost 5 years. For me, since 100% of my time since June of 2019. But we kind of officially came the first time in December and January. I hope you can hear me well. My neighbors have decided to have their landscapers come over and start doing their work 30 seconds after I started this video. So anyhow, I do like the weather here, and once it gets into the 70s, it's a little too chilly for me. I have gotten very used to the warm weather here. And if you work, a lot from home, of course, during the summer, it can get too warm. I wouldn't say it's too hot. You learn the difference between it being warm and being hot. In northern Utah, in Cache Valley, in the summer time, I find that to be hot. It's closer to the sun, so maybe that's why. But yeah. It's more warm here in Metro Phoenix than it is hot. Very, very different. I guess you're just gonna have to come and figure it out. But you do get used to it. And after, I'll say 4 years, maybe sooner than that, you adjust and start realizing the benefits. So as you can see, I'm enjoying my lemons again. 4 of them this morning. Either they fall down or I go and pick them up specifically. Well, per popular demand, I think it's time for me to give a short summary about where I'm from, because many people are sometimes confused, which doesn't surprise me. Sometimes I'm confused too. Anyhow, to make a long story short, this is about just a short little summary of where Jason Peterson came from and what we're doing here. So, which for many people was never to be expected. So we now live here and enjoy Red Mountain Ranch here in East Mesa. Happy to be here because we love the outdoors. We love going to the Salt River, Saguaro Lake, Canyon Lake. Just going for hikes, listening to the wind brush along the needles of the beautiful, gorgeous saguaros. So that's where we are right now. And I'm happy that it's warming up today. So I was born in Logan, Utah, to be exact, in River Heights, in a Charlie Brown-like neighborhood. With an elementary school, the cutest elementary school you can imagine, right across the street. Have the best parents you can imagine. 7 brothers and sisters that I adore and love and cherish. Well over 40 first cousins and many other second cousins and many other relatives that have enriched my life. When I was 15, I knew that I wouldn't live in the United States, but I didn't know why. And I told my mom, and she thought I was crazy. So did I. So maybe I am. But anyhow, by the time I was 16 and a half or 17, I figured it out. And it was that I had a longing to live and work in Germany. I had no experience with Germany, but my biology teacher, Gisela Rogovitz, originally from Bonn. She actually lives in Arizona, and I love her to death. yeah, she inspired me to begin with, as well as the German foreign exchange students. Well, then I lived and worked I lived and served a Mormon mission in Buenos Aires. Worked, I guess. I served a mission. I wasn't going to go on a mission, but then I decided to. I had a very special experience, and I'm happy that I did. And I was sent to Buenos Aires, Argentina, por eso puedo hablar castellano. And still enjoy speaking Spanish today, which is very different than what I spoke back then, because it has much more influence from Spain as opposed from Buenos Aires. And of course, I've lost a lot of it because the constructive Spanish I speak very well, but I've lost a lot of the vocabulary. So after having been there for a year, I came back, lived in Salt Lake City, then Park City, and then was able to fulfill my dream of living and working in Germany, which I started off for the second and final time on the 3rd of July, 1991. I ended up living and working in Germany for almost 30 years. To make a really long story short, worked for Accenture, used to be called Anderson Consulting, but Accenture. I was given the opportunity, I worked for them for 21 years, was given the opportunity to come to Chicago for about 4 or 5 years, off and on, maybe 30, 50% of my time, and I just loved it. And it was a wonderful opportunity for me because I had become so Germanized and never lived and worked in the United States as an adult, which is why if you meet me, when we meet or we talk about my past, I will always say that I was born and raised in Logan, Utah, and grew up in Germany, which is true because I spent my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s there. We also lived next in Berchtesgadener Land, Oberbayern, right next to Salzburg, Austria. Salzburg, Österreich. Anyhow, so backtracking out. So I moved to Germany for the second and last time in 1991, and thank you, neighbor landscapers. You can probably hear their blowers. Sorry about that. So really loved it. We lost a lot of our family, my German family, in 2015, which triggered us to make the move to the United States. And yeah, I'll have to tell that story next time, but we ended up deciding that Phoenix, Arizona would be the best place to come to. I came here as a child with some of my siblings to visit Grandma and Grandpa Peterson. And I do, for many different reasons, have a close tie to Arizona, Metro Phoenix. And so that's why we ended up here, where we have been for nearly 5 years and closed down my company in Germany, my real estate company that I had prior to leaving. I worked at Accenture, like I said before, and then I had my own real estate practice started off with Remax, then established my own brokerage. We don't have brokerages, listing agents, brokers, agents, salespeople. That doesn't exist in Germany. People say, what is it like residential real estate in the United States compared to Germany? And I always say it's like comparing Mandarin Chinese to quilting. That's how similar they aren't. Anyhow, as you can tell, I'm jumping around from topic to topic, from timeline to timeline, but that's where I'm from. I'm originally from Logan, Utah, River Heights, and I love Utah. I'm also licensed in Utah. If you need my help there, have a lot of wonderful colleagues in Utah as well that I work with. But I am focused on Metro Phoenix, the Valley of the Sun, and yeah, where we've been now full-time since 2019, but actually since December 2017, when we bought our condo downtown, midtown, and now we live here in beautiful Red Mount Ranch, East Mesa. So anyhow, that's my story per popular demand. Where are you from? how did you get here? Why do you speak Deutsch, German? If any of you do speak German, when we came here, the Chamber of Commerce told us that there are 90,000 Germans here. And so often we believe that must be true because we bump into German-speaking people all the time, which is fun too. So anyhow, so enough with that. I have lost my storyboard anyway, but I just wanted to let you know a little bit more about myself, and I wish all of you a wonderful Thanksgiving celebration and look forward to meeting you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.